Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart. Start at the end. Do you believe? Do you believe?
I think for many people, they'd like to say they've got the big house and the big car and the fancy friends and you know, kind of living that high life. But I think that kind of went by the wayside a long time ago, I think, for many people, especially in this new kind of the way the world is working right now. And I think people are just feel like they're successful if they're feeling healthy at the end of the day and they've got family and friends and loved ones around them. So for me, when I look at the type of success that I've had, I feel like I'm very comfortable in the job that I have, that I feel like I'm successful in that every day I can make a little bit of a difference for somebody in either their lives or in my life. I feel I'm successful because I've found a wonderful life partner in my husband, and that we have 2 beautiful kids and 2 healthy kids. So if I look at the big picture, when I was 18 thinking, what do I want? The happy, you know, family and kids and a steady job and all those things really are evident, and I've actually landed all those things. So for me to second guess that I find myself successful, I have to say no, those are all the things that I pictured having. Would I like to be able to get my own career to the next level, or to be able to ensure that, you know, we can travel and we can do all of these other things? Absolutely, but I think all of those things just come with the amount of time and effort that you're putting into what it is that you're doing every day.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart. Start at the end. Do you believe?
I never thought that I was going to be doing what I'm doing as my career when I started out. I have 2 business degrees, and I really wanted to work for a company like Nike and Reebok and do their sports marketing and their advertising campaigns. And so sometimes it really just comes down to being in the right place at the right time, or having the opportunity to make the most of the people that you meet. You never know on any given day, in any given room or conversation, that person that you're talking to can actually change the course of your life. And that's exactly what happened with me. I was doing, my mother has a big gymnastics school here in the city. It was her 25th anniversary. I had just graduated from university. She asked me to send out press releases to different television and radio stations around the city, and so I did, and said there's a big 25th anniversary celebration, come out, come cover it. You know, a cameraman from CHRO at the time came out and said, you know, I'd like some information on the event. And so we started to do the interview, and then halfway through the interview he put the camera down and he said, our station is looking for someone exactly like you. He knew I was university educated, that I was a former elite national level athlete, and that I loved sports and that I was comfortable on camera. And so from that opportunity, having just come home from university, 5 days later I'm in a television producer's, you know, into the news director's office, and the next week I'm on TV. So opportunity and things like that come around everywhere. So it wasn't necessarily one thing or something that pushed me or that I dreamt of being in this, you know, area that I'm at. It was a chance meeting and making the most of that opportunity. So those days that I came in, I knew nothing about camera work, editing, writing scripts, being out, how to do interviews. It was just embracing each day and learning something new every day, so that every day I was going to get better. And then 2 years down the road, I could look back and go, oh my God, look how much I've grown in this job.
Wow. Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart. Start at the end. Do you believe?
You know what, it's interesting because I don't know if it's in the world of social media now. You know, at one point I would look at Barbara Walters and want to do her 2020 specials and do her, you know, most interesting people of the year. Like, I look at different people in our business, and I look at the Katie Courics, and there are so many different people that are successful in this type of an industry. But I look at social networking now, and I see people who have been able to grow their opinions, their businesses, based on just the attractiveness of what they blog about or what they talk about or how they promote. So it's interesting for me because I'm looking in so many different areas for people that are inspiring me or that are pushing me to try to be better. So I don't think it's necessarily what we see every day on air, but expanding the stories outside of the newsroom and outside of our shows to constantly be looking for things and writing about things that are interesting. And so I'm looking at people on social networking and on Twitter and different places to be able to find people who are doing really cool things and creating a business or an industry out of nothing, just based on where people's interests are. So for me to say that there's one person out there that inspires me, I don't think I could nail it. I don't think I could say it. I mean, I look at an Anderson Cooper and think he is completely remarkable at how he covers stories and what he does. I look at a Jimmy Fallon and I'm like, how can you be that funny all the time? And to an Ellen DeGeneres going, she can keep a conversation going and is so quick. And you look at how she does her interviews and how she just brings out the best in people. And so you kind of take different aspects from different people who are finding their niche in this crazy industry, and you just try to take a little bit from each of them.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe?
I think I was really lucky that I started in a city that was already well established. I know for a lot of journalism and communication students, they'll have to start at the smallest radio station in the corner of Northern Ontario and then slowly work their way up. I was already starting in a main market. So for me, I didn't have to really sacrifice to work my way up and leave family behind so that I could go and work my way up the ladder. So I was really lucky in that sense. There were opportunities for me to maybe move other cities, but I looked at the big picture and I'm like, I have family, I have great friends, and I'm from the city, and so I made a decision early on that unless it was a big move to New York City or something like that, that I really wasn't going to extend myself to be in other similar cities when I have the support system here. And I think the biggest challenge came in deciding that it wasn't all going to be about putting my career first. I had a desire to have a family, and I knew I couldn't keep putting it off. And so when you have that first child, you realize that your priorities change, everything around you changes, and so that really becomes the deciding point as to where you put your priorities in your life.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe?
I think a lot of people would be really happy landing where I've landed. I know I host a 4-hour morning show every day. I get to be in the homes of millions of people, and I think I have a job that a lot of people would aspire to get to, and so I have to really look at it and go, I think I'm in a really good place. I've got a really great gig. I meet so many interesting people every day. Every day my job is different. Every day it's a new challenge. It's something new to ask, different topics to cover, and so I kind of think to myself, what else do I really want to do? Like, what else would give me this much pleasure in the show? Granted, I would love not to have to be able to get up in the middle of the night, because the hours of this show are the big killer. And so if I could kind of take this show and put it midday, that would be awesome, but that's not really the case. So really on the long term, if there was something that I kind of saw in the far, far future, would maybe be a show for me about the things I'm really interested in with like health and fitness, and maybe creating my own show that way.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart, start at the end. Do you believe?
I get up at 3:45 in the morning. My current project is to shower, get on set, do a good show, get home and spend time with the kids. Right now, I'm kind of just enjoying where I'm at, and then when I maybe catch up on sleep or have the energy, we can start to kind of look at some of those things and those projects that I'd like to, and maybe one day it'll click to say now's the time.
Don't feel with your brain, think with your heart.